Shalom, Israel. This is your brother Shan back again, giving all thanks to the Most High Yahweh and His beloved Son Yahweh Shai. Today is Thursday, July 30th, and what I'm gonna go through right now, I got this article from USA Today, and the title is "Almost Half of All Jobs Lost During Pandemic May Be Gone Permanently." See that? And it's from the the financial website, the Motley Fool, which they tend to do articles about, the financial situation when it comes to banking, stocks, the money market, the job market, so on and so forth. And this article is from yesterday, July 29th. All right, so let's read it and see what it says. The COVID-19 outbreak has clearly done a number of the U.S. economy, plunging it deep into a recession and sending unemployment levels skyrocketing. In fact, jobless claims reached a record high in April, and while things improved slightly in May and June, new restrictions could send the unemployment rate even higher in the coming months. So yeah, man, listen, um, due to this whole COVID-19 outbreak thing, a lot of people lost their jobs, man. And around like April, May, where some of these states, some of these Edomites in these states are protesting, how they want to get their hair cut and they want to go to the bar and this, that, and the third. And some of the politicians foolishly allowed them to reopen, Texas, Florida, what I'm saying, Georgia, California, Arizona, so on and so forth. And now some of those same states are getting uh, a resurgence of COVID-19 infections to the point where some of these states are starting to shut back down again. Or if they haven't shut down by now, they're on the verge of shutting down. Texas, Florida, Arizona. If I'm not mistaken, I think California might have already shut back down. You know what I'm saying? Due to this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So let's read on. Unfortunately, rising joblessness could coincide with the end of the $600 weekly unemployment boost that's been keeping millions of Americans afloat these past few months. That $600 boost, which March's CARES Act provided, expires at the end of July, but because of the way states pay for their unemployment benefits on a weekly cycle, for most jobless folks, it's actually already gone. Yeah, because the let's keep it real. A lot of these states' unemployment, was paying shit. You know what I'm saying? The payout for the unemployment was, it was trash. It was garbage for many states. And the fact with that extra $600 from the CARES Act, it was actually a lifeline, and that it held people down. And I mean, yeah, it's true that what the senators Mitch the bitch McConnell was complaining about, how some folks was getting paid more to stay home collect unemployment than they was going back to work. Yeah, that was true. But listen, that whole thing, that extra $600 from unemployment helped people down, man. It was a huge help because again, the state unemployments, a lot of these, the state's unemployment pay, the pay is garbage. The pay is garbage, and especially with this whole COVID-19 thing, um, a lot of people was working jobs in industries that it's going to take very long to come back or might not come back at all. Again, this was something that I've been saying since the lockdown started. Let's read on. Meanwhile, lawmakers are gearing up to present a new stimulus package to provide ongoing relief during the COVID-19 crisis and extend unemployment is a big part of it. But a continuation of the $600 boost is unlikely to happen. Yeah, thanks to um, bitch ass McConnell, because he's one of the main ones whining and crying about, oh man, oh the extra $600, they're getting more to stay home than they are working, which is true. But it's like, dude, look, a lot of these, a lot of these stores, a lot of these industries haven't reopened, and the ones that have might shut back down again. So what you gonna do for the people? You know what I'm saying? How do you plan on holding the citizens down? Tell them to get another job. Where? Where? Entire states are shutting back down again. Where? You know what I'm saying? Numerous businesses have gone belly up due to COVID-19. A lot of folks work in mom and pop shops that they're pretty much gone now. They're not going to come back. A lot of folks' jobs, they're gone. They're not going to come back. So get a job where? You know what I'm saying? That's why, senators, fat cat senators like um, the Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, and that senators like bitch ass McConnell need to shut their damn mouth, man. Let's continue. In fact, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has already come out and said that the boosted unemployment will, going forward, amount to like an extra 180 to 310 per week, which is garbage. On top of whatever the states were paying, where someone's paying crack, that's garbage, man. And see, that's the thing with the whole COVID-19 crisis going on. One thing that these senators could fail to understand is that these people that these people still got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? Life does not stop because of COVID-19. The rent is still due every month, the mortgage, the electricity, the water bill, whatever. The still credit card bill is still due every month, man. So you in a state where um, because remember, unemployment is calculated by how much you was making prior to getting laid off. And remember, there are some states in the U.S. where minimum wage is still like 7.50, $8, 8.25. So you getting a portion of that is like uh, come up to like maybe like 150 a week. And let's say with the let's say the extra 188, like Steve Mnuchin would say, that's what 380. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, 338. Come on, that's nothing, man. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. Again, some of these people who lost their jobs, some of them got families, some of them got bills and responsibilities. Now, if you're a single man or woman and you like working and you live by yourself, you rent in a room, yeah, you might be able to luck up. Or you live in affordable housing where your rent is cheap, you might be able to luck up. But three what's that, 383 or 338 in some of these other states, shit is an abomination, man. Listen, in some of these other states, like say New York or California, you can't even wipe your own ass with that kind of money. Let's read on. Why not extend the full 600? Lawmakers say it's a deterrent for workers to return to a job since with it, So out of work Americans make more money on unemployment than they do in a employment capacity. But again, like the article says, like the headline says, some of these jobs ain't coming back. A lot of these jobs are not coming back. You know what I'm saying? I heard from a podcast earlier. You know, there's roughly like 8 million jobs that's out there for the taking, but it's close to like 50 million people that's out of work. So if every job gets taken, you know, you still got like 40 something odd people that's still going to be unemployed. So again, the whole get a job thing, dude, what job? What job can somebody get during this whole pandemic when entire states are shutting back down again? Come on, man, be real. But another argument against that boost is that the jobless claims we're seeing right now represents a temporary problem, one that's likely to go away once the COVID-19 outbreak wanes or an effective vaccine is made widely available, which, according to that Dr. Fauci guy and other medical experts, could take anywhere to like a year and a half. So we're pretty much talking about this time, or roughly around this time next year, where they're expecting COVID-19 to go away, or a vaccine, an effective vaccine, to be widely available. So again, from July 30th, 2020 to July 30th, 2021, how exactly are people supposed to hold themselves down, pay their bills, take care of their families, if there's a lack of job out here? Let's continue. Of course, everyone wants the current unemployment crisis to be temporary, but new data reveals that a frightening number of jobless Americans may not, in fact, have a role to return to once the pandemic ends. Like I said, man, you got listen. A lot of people work in certain fields where that was the only thing that they good at. You know what I'm saying? So now, with this whole thing where entire industries, entire businesses, and companies are going under, you know, a lot of these jobs isn't coming back, to the point where some people might be forced to like go get a job in another field, this, that, and the third. And listen, even that takes a while. You know what I'm saying? That could take weeks, possibly months. And even during that time, guess what? Rent is still due. Bills are still due. The Con Ed is still due. The water bill is still due for those of you who pay water. For those of you who got credit cards, the credit cards are still due. For you homeowners out there, the mortgage is still due. So to do the whole readjusting from one career field or one job field to another, listen, it's not an overnight process. So let's continue. The COVID economy in six charts. I guess it's a link. You guys could read the link on your own. Rebounding from recession could prove tougher in months ahead. It's really devastating us. Another link. Beach towns fear they won't survive the summer of COVID-19. And see, that's another thing. A lot of these industries that's getting affected really bad are tourist industries, especially tourist cities like Las Vegas, where they really rely on people traveling to their state or to their city. You know what I'm saying? Patronize their casinos. You know what I'm saying? Their hotels and so on and so forth. They heavily rely on that to stay afloat. Especially and also, I believe certain tourist attractions like Disneyland and Disney World, they heavily rely on tourists to keep their attractions open. And my thing is, Disneyland in Florida, Disney World in Florida reopened, not too long ago, and someone went through. Somebody had like a camera, and it was traveling through Disneyland. It was still dead over there because you still got a lot of people that's still definitely afraid to come outside or at least be amongst large group of people out of fear that they might catch COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? Which is a legitimate concern. So let's read on. How many jobs will be lost permanently? In April, 78% of those in households experiencing job loss felt that the situation would be temporarily. But now, 47% think that job loss is likely to be permanent, according to the Associated Press North Center, North Center for Public Affairs Research. All told, roughly 10 million workers might need to find a new employer after the pandemic wraps up, and some might need to switch gears and find a new profession altogether. Like I just said, some folks like they pretty much specify in like one field, security, what I'm saying, office work, data entry, office receptionist, so on and so forth. Some might be a fry cook, line cook, you know, like whatever customer service, whatever your field may be. But like, yo, when all this blows over, when it's all said and done, some folks, they could simply find another employer. Other folks might have to find a completely different field to work in altogether. And again, like I said, even with that, it's not an overnight thing. It could take weeks, possibly months for that shift to happen. Because remember, a lot of these fields, you got to have some form of training or experience to be able to get a job in that field. You know what I'm saying? Many jobs. You know what I'm saying? Whether career wise or just regular jobs, they all have one thing in common. They tend to want somebody that has some form of experience. So if you're making a shift from one career field to another and you don't have that, experience, chances are it's going to be hard for you to get that job. Or if you don't have that training, it's going to be hard for you to get that job. So again, that switch is not going to remain over. It's not going to happen overnight, which is all the more reason why these senators, if they wise, they to continue that extra 600, man. Because a lot of people are going to be out here jacked up for a long time. Let's read on. But meanwhile, the pandemic is a long way from being over. You hear that? Let me read that again. But meanwhile, the pandemic is a long way from being over. And until the situation improves, those who are out of work will likely need assistance for a long time. In May, Democratic lawmakers proposed extending the 600 weekly boost through January 2021. Clearly, they won't be getting their way. The HEROES Act, which calls for the extended benefit, has stalled in the Senate with no chance of passing. And which that was another thing. You got these senators. They really pissed away by like 2 months doing absolutely nothing, and now it comes down to the wire. They call themselves scrambling, trying to negotiate some kind of way for to help pass the second stimulus bill in order to help the American people, which is a complete abomination because it's like, yo, y'all had 2 months to figure something out. You know, Y'all, it's down to the wire. Y'all still not even on one accord on what y'all trying to do. So a lot of people gonna be out here jacked up until y'all able to come to some kind of consensus to help the American people. And that's not even counting the fact that when y'all do come to a consensus, it may not be one that the people need. Because again, bitch ass McConnell was talking about lowering the federal boost of the $600 to $100. You know what I'm saying? Which again, you can't even wipe your own ass with that. That's nothing. That's all right. So let me continue on. Clearly, they won't be getting their way. The HEROES Act, which calls for the extended benefit, has stalled in the Senate with no chance of passing. And while Republicans are indeed calling to extend boosted unemployment in the new relief package, it's unclear as to how long that boost will remain in effect. And let me say this, not for nothing. Say what you want about the Democrats, but they definitely have the right idea, man. Because if you keep that going again, some folks may be out of work for the whole year. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know how long this thing is gonna last. So you're gonna need something to hold the people down until then. Let's read on. Either way, if almost half of the jobs that were lost in the course of the COVID-19 crisis really do remain forever gone, a lot of people will need help learning new skills and finding ways to get back into the workforce. Let's hope lawmakers recognize that need and allocate funds for it accordingly. Again, like I said, I keep saying it throughout the video, and I'm gonna keep stressing it again. If you got to, you know what I'm saying, for the folks that has no choice but to switch careers or shift job fields, they're gonna have to find a way to learn new skills. And again, that takes time, at least 2 months or longer. If you go to some job training program to get experience in something, it's gonna at least take like a month and a half, 2 months or longer. All this is valuable time that's passing, which again, throughout that whole time, bills are still due. The rent is still due. The mortgage is still due. Credit card bills are still due. You know, you still got to put food on the table to sustain yourself and your family. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it on the article. Again, like I said, guys, a lot of these jobs they may not be coming back, and this article says that some of those jobs are not coming back. And you know what the funny thing is? I said that in one of my live videos during the beginning of the shutdown. You know what I'm saying? I think like the first video that I put up during the COVID-19 lockdown is where I predicted that, and lo and behold, somewhat 2 3 months later, 4 months later, come to find out I was right. And it's not to boast or brag, but it's something that I saw in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I saw in the spirit that I could see coming from a mile off, man. Again, it's gonna get ugly out here for a lot of our people. A lot of our people gonna be it's gonna be jacked up out here. And not for nothing, let me say this: in today's world, man, to it's really wise to look to invest invest in yourself to try to start your own business, start a hustle, a side hustle or something. And also, if you're still trying to work, work for somebody, punch a clock for them and stuff like that, it definitely would be wise to, you know, at least be flexible where, you know, even though you have a job in this field, you still have skills where you could pick up a job in another field. Like say you might work in customer service, but you also have a security license and it's up to date. So now you could do security work. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have a security license, do security work, but you also could do janitorial. You have janitorial skills, so you might get a job as a custodian or something. You might have an office work. You might be that data entry specialist, keyboard specialist, a receptionist, but also you might have experience in customer service. So meaning like basically I'm saying that you might have to work two jobs, to hold yourself down. If you could secure a job, because from what they from what the job market, from what they talking, it's not a lot of jobs out here. So for those of you that's still working, most I bless y'all. But it's a lot of folks out here that's really jacked up. So let me just read one scripture to show how all this is Bible prophecy, how this kingdom is going down. Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne or daughter of the Chaldeans. But thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg. Uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So this is, the Most High prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, Babylon during the ancient times, and also the Babylon of today, which is America, Babylon the Great. America was that huge, untouchable superpower that was successful in this, that, and the third, and now COVID-19 hit, and America is losing right now. You know what I'm saying? Other countries is during this whole COVID-19 thing, like you know, other countries like Canada and certain parts of Europe, they installed certain forms of like stimulus bills and stuff to hold people down that might be out of work for a certain dispensation of time, so that they could still eat, they could still provide, pay their bills, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. they want to pass that measly $1,200 stimulus check, you know, which not gonna lie, that definitely helped. You know what I'm saying? But they was really expecting that one check to hold folks down for months, and they were straight bugging if that was the case. If they really thought that, they were bugging the hell out. And now with this whole COVID-19 thing, it's ruining the job market. It's taking a lot of lives. You know what I'm saying? It's really making America look like fools, and really make the leaders, the senators, you know, the governors, state politicians, and stuff like that, really making them look like a bunch of incompetent men. And it's all the judgment of the Most High. So that's just it. It's your brother Shamwal Kasad signing off, saying shalom. Most High bless y'all. Be safe out there and keep the faith. Shalom.